Beige Whale. Making waves over movies.
Isn't it strange that says making waves over movies? I thought we had the new one as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
You haven't voiced that though, have you? You haven't sent me a voice version of
Did.
Movies and Mayhem.
Yeah, I sent you all of it. It's on the other thing you've been sending.
But you sent it with a cinema screen, not just the individual thing for me to upload. Send it to me on WeTransfer if you've got it, because if you haven't, I've got so many photos I might have missed it.
Quick one.
Yeah.
Sure
anyway, welcome to episode 12. I don't know quite what we're going to discuss because we did chat a little bit about Oscars.
The Oscars, man.
But let's go on, James. What do you want to talk about?
What's on the tip of my tongue? Making Waves reminded me of that tsunami film, Ewan McGregor, The Unthinkable, or whatever it's called.
And Little Spider-Man.
The special effects, in that are so good. It makes it look genuinely real.
It's called The Impossible. The Impossible.
The Impossible Zone. What did I say?
You said
Unthinkable.
Unbearable.
You said The Unbearable.
Untouchables, whatever. Great movie, great special effects from a long time ago.
Did I see in the background of James a book? Did I see this book?
No.
You guys.
No.
Have you not got that book?
No, I've got some toilet paper. I'm 6 pages deep. And those 6 pages went deep.
Drew, have you got one of these?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh my God, you actually have your own book to hand.
Yeah.
Drew wrote a book, people. This is
like better than yours. I got a bookmark.
Oh.
Where's my bloody bookmark?
No, it's something I'm trying out, dude.
Cut my life into pieces.
I'll post it.
This is my Drew Horner.
Kev, this is like selling a pair of shoes with a special box. This thing increases the value. You've got like some chump version.
I got an original, mate.
It's got the
original.
I think
I've got the deluxe version. Thank you very much.
Kev, have you got the one with the signs copied by the artist?
No, I've got the one that was sent to me personally by the artist.
What does it say on the inside? What's yours say on the inside?
Does it have a number? Do they have numbers?
Look at that, bitch. Signature.
Right. Well, I need to bring my book down to you and get a better signature.
Ha. Do you want to hear something really funny, actually?
I'm going to put lipstick on you and you can kiss the inside.
Do you want to hear something really funny? A guy I used to work with wrote a book. It was like some erotic novel / cookbook. It was really funny, actually. I'll try and find it at some point. And he signed it. He said to me, "Oh, do you want a copy?" And he signed it. And when I got it, there was like a thin like tear line down like what was clearly a page. He'd obviously signed it for someone else and ripped it out and signed the next page. It was like a how to like cook and date, and it was really funny, actually.
I've heard that before. Did you? Maybe you mentioned it to me before.
Maybe, yeah. I can't think of his name right now. Russell Britton was his name. Russell Britton, and it's like a how to date people, but at the same time had genuine like recipes and that in. It was really funny. It was more of it. It wasn't really a book. It was more of like a pamphlet with like sort of 30-40 pages. But I'll try and find it. Yeah, Russell Britton.
But yeah, I mean,
I'll try and find that. It's funny.
This book by Andrew Horner. So Andrew's Drew, that guy right there. Follow him on Instagram because he won't promote himself. He's on Tales of the Nook.
It's not worth it.
And when I release this episode, that's when I'll post a little poem by him as well.
Oh, so, yeah.
Tales of the Nook.
I've got a better book though. That kind of touches on the last episode we were talking about, Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
No way.
Yeah, it's got all the original artwork and stuff in it. No, it's all the original artwork, like how they designed all the characters. And like how they went through, like how they made Woody and how they made Pizza Planet.
Mate, I love it. I do love
I got it in Disneyland Paris the year the film came out. 1995 this was made.
95?
Yeah, because it came out at the same time as GoldenEye.
No way.
Yeah, mate, because I remember when I was in Tesco.
95?
Mate, when I was in Tesco, I was torn between the two films of what I wanted, and they were on VHS.
Look, these are the versions of Woody they went through and stuff. Look, it's got all the different artists' impressions.
That's amazing.
I could have sworn I was an adult when that came out.
Yeah, I thought so as well. But Toy Story and GoldenEye.
Here's all the different buzzes they were designing and stuff as well. It's a pretty crazy book, to be fair. It's amazing.
Man, that looks cool. I love stuff like that, man. Are you going to
Yeah,
get the one of Spider?
I'm going to buy everything of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, of course.
Luckily, Reef really wants a Spot toy. You know Spot of Spider-Verse 2.
Oh, yeah.
Annoyingly, none of the good toys came out in England. They all came out in America, and they're really cool. So I've had to like bulk load a lot in from America. Yeah.
Mate, you must have had a big serious blow at the Oscars, though. I couldn't believe Spider-Verse didn't win.
Oh, what bullshit movie won again?
Oh yeah,
The Boy and the Heron.
Heron.
Fuck off, Boy and the Heron.
What did you call it in the last episode?
I haven't
Like
seen
the
it.
Boy and the Penguin or something.
I haven't seen it, but I really want to, man. I really want to see it.
Well, the reason that won from
It
what
was
I've heard,
made by Spirited Away people in it.
yeah, but he's a huge and he's a massive illustrator in the country.
He shouldn't win just for
He's
that.
a well-renowned one, but
So is Neil
he-
Buchanan, but he
he's-
didn't win anything.
but he's out of the game for a long time. This was him coming out of retirement to do one last film.
Oh,
I
so they
think
gave him a
this was
sympathy vote.
his last hurrah.
Sympathy
They-
vote.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck off.
I'm sure
There's
it
a
was
pregnant
brilliant.
Spider-Woman in Spider-Verse, and she's black. It's proper inclusive.
But,
And there's a Mexican one.
Boy and the Heron had a heron.
but,
Penguin.
Wow, a heron, yeah, because they're really marginalised.
but I think because it already won an Oscar, don't forget, the first one, I think it
Yeah.
would have just been a bit cake on cake.
What, like Emma Stone? Emma Stone just got her second Oscar when she shouldn't have. No, she should have.
Her
I take that
dress
back,
broke,
right?
though, so.
So that's the only controversy I could pick up from this Oscars is that
What was
Emma
the other
Stone
one? La La
won the
Land.
Oscar for Best Actress, and yes, she deserves it because Bella Baxter in Poor Things was an incredible role.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
Lily Gladstone should have got the Oscar for Killers of the Flower Moon. She was unreal, and
Yeah.
that would have shown the Oscars' ability to see other people, other
Diversity.
cultures.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Two things off what you just said. One was, damn it, Derby had beaten Reading. Fucking annoying. Dwight Gale, you prick. First thing,
Football.
did she win the other one for La La Land? Was she in La La Land?
She was nominated. She didn't
Oh yeah,
win.
I think it was because she didn't. The La La
Win.
Land, the film didn't win because that was the funny thing is they came
Can-
up.
Oh,
with
was
yeah,
that
he
one
read
Moonlight?
the wrong film, didn't he, the
Yeah,
guy?
Moonlight. Yeah.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
The second thing I was going to say was what you just said there. It would highlight how different people shouldn't be given awards because they're like a minority or are not a thing. Like that should make no difference.
I
It should be
understand.
purely
I-
based on like their performance.
James, I agree. But the point is that Oscars don't work that way. The Oscars
No, they don't.
are voted by
They're bought and paid for.
by their peers, and they literally do vote for the people they like, and they put the people that deserve it in a category to a degree, and then they vote for something that's going to be popular with the masses. It doesn't mean anything.
There's
It's like
also
most.
hang on. There's a bit more to it, which is quite interesting from a business side as well. Say the person that's nominated, they've got 3 films coming out. They're more likely to get bigger footfalls for those people going to their next films because they're then an Oscar winner.
In which case, Sydney Sweeney should have won. She's in everything at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, what I bizarrely I listened to a podcast today. It was a Louis Theroux one, and Louis Theroux was chatting to Sharon Stone and
Cool.
talking about the film she'd done.
Specialist, great film.
And she was
Basically.
The Specialist. Did you say?
Specialist, yeah, brilliant film.
Yeah, so good. But she was up for an Oscar for Casino.
Oh, she was brilliant.
She was magnificent in that film.
Yeah,
but
phenomenal.
maybe she didn't deserve it at the time. I can't remember who she was up against, but apparently Francis Ford Coppola went over to her and said, "Look, you're not going to win. I'm telling you now, so you can get your emotion out." And she was
1-0.
she was like, "Why?" And she goes, "You're not going to win because this person's going to win for this reason. We already know it. This is what's going to happen." And it was, I forget her name right now. But anyway, she did win and Sharon Stone didn't. And it's because of how Hollywood works and how it pushes an agenda to a degree.
I will say one thing. The reason I don't watch award shows in general, like the Brits, the Grammys, and all this crap, is because the person you've heard of least is one. Have you ever hear Eminem's reason why he'd never go to Grammys again? He was like,
Didn't he
never invite me back. Because he was up against like album of the year or something. It was something random. And it was him and Nora Jones won it. And he was like, who the fuck is Nora Jones? Like, you're not telling me that Nora Jones outsold or outperformed Eminem in any year of her career. And he was like, after that, I was
They
like,
shouldn't be in the
he
same
was like, I've got
category
no,
together.
but it was like
Well,
album of the year. Album of the year is irrelevant. Like, it's just everyone. And he was like,
Album of the year should be on either sales or something, or hits like
no,
actual stats.
I'm pretty sure it's voted again. Like, it
Well,
is
it's
voted.
bullshit. It doesn't
And
mean
he was
anything.
like, after that, and he said the thing, he said, after that, I was like, never invite me back, because I'm never going. He's like, I don't know who
If
she
me
is,
and you
fair
wrote
play,
an
she might be
album
good.
and you got a million views and I got one, but mine was, liked by one of the people and I won, even I would be like, wait a minute.
On
Something's
that
not right. I
basis,
should have won this.
Spider-Verse 2 should have beaten the other bloody films that had way better ratings and made more money.
I'm not that bothered about any of these award things, but I'm interested in the fun parts.
It's done on a very few people's opinion that are very much into looking good and making
the best
money.
part of awards is seeing these actors who portray characters be themselves for a bit.
Yeah.
Emma Stone's face when she won was priceless.
I love Emma Stone. I love her to bits. Her and Jennifer Lawrence as a couple of friends.
Yeah.
Duo in Hollywood. Love them.
I also really like, I've said it before, Dakota Johnson after her Spider thingy tour. So funny and so down to earth.
Emily,
compared to the other three girls that all did interviews together, being like, oh, we have group chats and we do all this, we bake cookies together and we have little parties. She's like, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like,
were you going to say, Drew? Fella,
I was going to say Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling had a really funny thing to do with like the
Oppenheimer Barbie.
Barbenheimer, yeah. It was
Emily Blunt's really funny.
And they improvised a bit of it as well, which was really clever, and you could see how witty they were. Like, it was really funny.
Also, John Krasinski is getting involved in a lot, isn't he?
Who?
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
He plays Jim in The Office. He's doing loads at the moment. He's also a very good actor. In The Quiet Place, him and the deaf girl, like, amazing.
Well, he's more behind the scenes these days, and
he doesn't really act at all, does he? But he's in the new Quiet Place movie, so
he's writing everything. He's great.
Well, no, he is. Guys, he is acting. He's in the Jack Ryan TV series. It's on the 4th season on Amazon.
Rubbish that.
But you're right. I mean, but here's an interesting thing, though. When he potentially bought the rights to A Quiet Place. Yeah. I'm curious because when you buy the rights and it's somebody's artistic like property, I thought you still had to say based on the original, and you have to mention the people that created it.
I don't know
because interestingly
maybe
now
it's a collaboration, but if he buys it, it's his. He can mess with it.
Because that is interesting because the second film and this new one, A Quiet Place Day One, I don't see it mentioning anything about the original two guys that came up with the concept and the character and the world.
Maybe they didn't.
I don't know enough, but
maybe it'd be like,
as a photographer, if I share a photo, they've got to share that photo. If they pay me like a wedding photo and they want to put a filter on it and fuck it up, all power to you. You've paid me.
Throw something out there. Like, you might find it's like Game of Thrones, where they obviously made the Game of Thrones about books, but the last series or so, there was no books and they did it themselves. So that might be the same thing with Quiet Place. There might not be another thing, so he's done it himself.
Yeah, it's just so popular.
Also,
you still have to say, so that's a great example, mate, but it's with the Game of Thrones, it says based on the books by George R.R. Martin, right?
Yeah, just a quick one. I will say, Kev, I only found out the other day. Kev, the other day I found out that John Krasinski was one of the directors of the last series of The Office. Did you know that?
The old director did.
Pardon? They all did.
In The Office.
Well, BJ Novak was the main guy, the guy that plays Ryan. Yeah, and then at the end,
every single one of them, by the end, they were all producers. And they all tried their hand at being directing because it was such a small group of people. They just had fun with it.
just a quick one, I would say, to plug another podcast. You know, we talk about Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee on the Bad Friends podcast.
Yeah.
Andrew Santino was in The Office, or meant to be in The Office, with the guy who plays Andy from The Hangover, Ed Helms. Ed Helms, yeah. And there's a scene where they're on a boat, and Ed Helms, whatever's got his arm and thing, and Andrew Santino is meant to smack him with his left hand, like slap him. And Andrew Santino's like, "Oh yeah, I went to hit him with my right hand." And John Krasinski's like, "Just do that again, but you need to hit him with the other hand." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, cool. It's pretty easy stuff here." So he did it again, hit him with the same hand. And then John Krasinski's like, "Yeah, you're blocking the camera when you do that. You need to do it with the other thing." And he's like, "Simple. I just hit him with a hand." They press play, and he's like, hits him with the wrong hand again. And John Krasinski's like, "Bud, look." And he's like, as soon as he said, "Look, bud," he's like, I felt like I was being spoken to like a naughty child. And they were like, "Look, you need to do it like this." He did it again with the wrong hand. And then they went, "Let's just go to the next thing."
I take it back though. Look, he has put
He has
by
credit.
characters. He has
By the
credited.
way, I
the
can't read that at all.
So he has credited the writers.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean,
That's a quiet place too, because I thought if it's somebody's, look, it's all fair and well buying something, but it's still based on original material. Yes,
Like
you're taking
Sony bought Spider-Man.
it's bound to be.
Great
Yeah, I was gonna
move.
say, it's
Yeah.
going to be in there somewhere. Even if
It's
It's
like-
IP, isn't it? You own the IP, the intellectual property.
That's what I mean. So like Spider-Man is Stan Lee, right? So it's like you'd have by characters adapted by Stan Lee, or the who was the one that created Batman? I can't remember.
not a clue.
Wow,
It'll
there's
be-
someone comment below. Who
It'll
the hell
be
did that?
It will be characters, the character of Batman based on. You can take stories, you can take characters in different directions, but you
God, who
still
did create Batman?
He's
Created
still-
by DC Comics writer Bill Finger and
Oh,
Bob
so it was DC
Kane.
Comics, really, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
DC.
Bob Kane. No, Bob Kane. That's the one.
Bob
That's the
Kane
one,
and
Bob
Bill
Kane.
Finger.
But he
Yeah.
worked for DC, so it was DC. Whereas I don't think Stanley worked for anyone at the time.
No,
Do
he
you know
got
the funny story about Spider-Man?
fired,
Though?
didn't he?
That's a guess.
You can watch a really cool thing of an interview with Stan Lee. He was saying that he
R.I.P.
came up with the idea. He says, "Oh, there's this lad who gets bit by a spider, and he has spider powers." And he says so many people laughed at that idea. Like people he met when he was
Yeah.
pitching this idea, they laughed at him and said, "That is the most stupid. That will never fly, mate. Spider-Man is an absolute joke." And calling him
Well, you think
Spider-Man
that's
is
good? You
Well, but
know,
then
Teenage
he
Mutant.
said-
Oh,
No,
sorry.
let's
And
stick
then
on
he said-
Spider-Man for a second. Finish.
And then he said a perfect example of don't listen to people, just go with your instinct. He says Spider-Man is by far one of my most famous characters that I ever
Most
created.
successful, yeah. I mean,
I think he's, apart
to
from Batman,
piggyback-
the biggest superhero.
one second to piggyback on the Spider-Man thing, because on Disney Plus there's a documentary about Stan Lee. It's really good,
Oh wow!
and so I know exactly what you said because he mentions it in that. But he also says the reason that the people did not want Spider-Man to happen is because number one, it's meant to be a teenager, so no one's going to be able to relate to that because it's not a man, a big superhero figure you can look up to. It's just a kid. The other thing is that because he wears a mask completely over his head, you can't imagine, kids can't relate because you can't see the person. Even, Superman's you can see his face and all this sort of stuff. And Stan Lee's rebuttal.
All the other superheroes, even Tony Stark as Iron Man, makes a point that he is Iron Man.
But
Steve Rogers.
The rebuttal that he made was that the reason Spider-Man's covered and the reason it's going to resonate with kids is that they can imagine and pretend that they are Spider-Man. You don't know, so it can be you. It can be anyone.
Yeah.
So the
Quick one.
imagination.
He says that anyone could be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick one. Taking out Batman, because he's DC, but is any other superhero anonymous?
Superman.
We don't forget that's stupid. He looks a bloody same. If I walked off and put glasses on and gel in my hair, you'd be like, you're still the same fucking person. That's always been the dumbest thing about Superman. Like, what are we doing?
don't know.
Like, it's so stupid. It's unbelievable. But take out
Actually, Wolverine
stupid
doesn't
DC
hide,
because
but-
they're idiots. Everyone knows he's Logan though. He walks around. Everyone calls him Logan.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he doesn't disguise himself. I'm saying
No one does.
The Invisible Man, maybe.
Who's that purple
What-
character?
What were you saying that made me think of something, by the way, at the beginning of this, before we got into Spider-Man things? Because I had something really good to say.
It was to do with people's artistic. I think you said like P. You called it something PI or
Oh, IPs.
personal property IP. Yeah,
Oh, it's annoying.
that's where it was. And I was saying about you need to give credit to people, and then I started talking about
I was going to say,
original character.
let's not repeat ourselves, but I don't want to talk about all of that again. I was going to say, James, just butt in when you remember, but I'm pretty sure he knows how to do that.
Oh, I don't know what it was now, but it was something really good.
Going back to where we were before, because I was quite enjoying, that was really interesting as well. But like talking about the Oscars and people being real and stuff like that. I mean, we mentioned Emily Blunt. I think genuinely, apart from your Ryan Goslings and people like that, I think the women are killing it in Hollywood at the moment in the sense that they genuinely
they've been
are
shoved down your throat. That's why they
are-
were good before.
Mate, don't get that. I'm just saying they're funny, as in they are funny. When you hear them on chat shows, the blokes are going, yes, this is my new project. The women are taking the piss, having a laugh, enjoying it, and they're like Emily Blunt is just amazing. Dakota Johnson, like you said, funny as anything. But
Florence Poe, she's funny as well.
She's funny, isn't she? I like her.
Florence
But they were always funny. They were always good. Like
yeah,
when that idiot from the female what's the female Ghostbusters woman called, the one with the blonde hair, who's a comedian? What's she called? Pardon?
I can't remember her name right now.
Oh, the lead in
she's brilliant.
Bridesmaids.
She
Melissa
went up on
McCarthy.
stage. Pardon?
Melissa
No,
McCarthy.
the one with the blonde hair, the thin one.
Kate McKinnon.
No,
Kate McKinnon.
Is that her name?
no, it's not.
Whatever. She went up on stage and basically made herself look like a twat because she was like, "Oh, there's not enough female leads, is there?"
Wiig?
Yeah,
No, not Kristen Wiig.
That's it.
No, not
Yeah,
Kristen Wiig. The blonde one. No, it's not Kristen Wiig.
They're all
blonde.
blonde. All three
the
of them are
blonde
blonde.
one.
The Australian.
Her.
Yeah.
She's in Ghostbusters as well.
That's
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon. They're all in Ghostbusters. That's what we're talking about.
Right. She made herself look like a total twat. Because she went up on stage and accepted an award, went all woke.
It wasn't that. It wasn't her. It was someone else. I know exactly who
No,
you're
it was
saying.
her. No, it was her.
No.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
100%. Yes, it was.
It
You're
wasn't.
going to regret this in a minute because it definitely was her.
I know exactly who it was.
Yes, it was.
How do you know?
She said something about. Oh, maybe we're talking about different things, but she's talking about how Spielberg is like the best director, but
Yeah, it was
he's
her.
never given a main role to a woman. And then someone just went, "But what about X and Y and Z?"
She was like, "Want to explain yourself, Stephen?" And someone said, "Color purple," and she went, "Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, it was her."
Yeah, it wasn't
Google
her.
it. It was her.
A different woman. It was. I'm trying to remember.
No, it was
who it
her.
is.
Right, I'm going to kill you in a minute. Right, it was her.
I put 10 quid on it. I put more than 10 quid on it. I know exactly.
Tenner. No, tenner.
And she's in
Tenner.
comedy films.
Web shake. Tenner.
10 quid. That was not her. It was, I think it's the wife
So we did
of...
quiz time. Keep press quiz time because you guys are going up against each other.
Lex. I'll press quiz time.
It's quiz time.
The problem is I can't think what film she's in because she's not a big actress, but I'm sure she's in like 40-year-old virgin type territory.
Don't need to, douchebag. Bomb.
Yeah, that's not her.
That's her. That's the one from Ghostbusters, you imbecile.
What's her name?
Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks is not in Ghostbusters.
Yes, she is.
Nope.
Guys, this is getting heated. This is exciting.
Elizabeth Banks is not in Ghostbusters, but she is brilliant. That's it. I think she's married to the guy. Oh, I can't remember now. Yeah, so I knew it was Elizabeth Banks.
Kate McKinnon. She looks exactly the same.
Yes.
Oh!
Winner.
10 points to Kevin and £10 to Kevin.
That's because James's only description was blonde woman. So there's quite a few of them. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the Oscars, we mentioned it a little briefly in the last episode, but I think like...
In my defence,
She does look well like Elizabeth Banks, though. To be fair,
No, she doesn't.
Kate McKinnon.
Would you say that's the same person?
No, because I know who they both
Yeah, you
are,
would.
and they're not the same person.
Nasty.
They're both funny though.
One's in Barbie as well.
No, neither of them are funny.
Yeah, one's weird Barbie.
Yeah. Well, Kate McKinnon is weird Barbie.
Yeah, and she's from.
I owe Kev 10 podcast bucks now.
Did you just call me Ken?
Kev.
I'm cool with
yeah.
that. If I was half as cool as Ryan Gosling, I'd be pretty fucking stoked.
Either way, she's lucky she wasn't in that film because it was fucking awful.
But anyway, yeah, Oscars. I was gonna say, it's like Billie Eilish's performance was beautiful, but I love
I
Billie
didn't see any
Eilish.
of it. Maybe I should watch it.
I love Billie Eilish.
I saw the In Memoriam
it's on
thing. That was
ITV,
really nice.
It's on ITV for once. You don't have
The
to
In
pay for it.
Memoriam thing was nice when they showed that the orchestra come up when the people were
I didn't see. I saw Matt LeBlanc was there, but that was all.
Andre Broer, whatever his name is.
But
Broger.
the funny thing is, in Memoriam, did you hear the music that was playing?
Yeah,
No, but I didn't realise Tina Turner died.
No, did you hear the music though?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
No, what was it? Daft Punk?
Which is from what film?
Wait, what's the song?
Time to da da da.
I know this one. I know this.
Go on.
Karate Kid 3.
What?
Ooh.
Karate Kid 3.
No, well, it might have been, but the important film it's from. Come on, Drew. Come on, Drew. You both know it. It's inappropriate to know this song from this film.
Wait, no, I know it. I know it.
Give us a
Go on.
clue.
I've got it. Emmanuel in Space.
What? What are you on about? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that's C.
It's from.
Mortal Kombat?
Oh my god!
Give us a clue. Give us a clue. What's the genre?
Right. In Memoriam for the Oscars was comedy.
Yeah, Time to Say Goodbye.
Hangover.
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 Ace Ventura.
Same style, same kind of thing.
Hangover 2.
Bridesmaids.
Same thing, same kind of thing.
Oh, wait, no. Step Brothers.
Bingo!
When they hit each other in the head with the baseball bats.
No, at the very end, the Catalina wine mixer.
Oh,
Where
the
he-
Catalina
it's on the
wine
drum.
mixer.
He's never sung in front of anyone before, and then all of a sudden he goes, la shli, blah dee da, in like.
Oh, yeah, I've been called the songbird of my time.
Yeah.
Best comedy of all time. I'm
Yeah.
throwing it there.
It's
And to
so
keep
good.
it equal, Bridesmaids is up there as best comedy of all time as well.
Yeah,
All female
both are
cast.
brilliant. Both
Brilliant.
are brilliant. But yeah, Step Brothers.
Your name's
insanely
Steve.
good.
Your name's Stove. You're an appliance. There's like a colonial woman on the wing. That's some of the best. Paul Feig, who liked my picture on Instagram. There you go.
Yeah, I remember you saying. But
He did. Have you seen that picture, Drew?
No.
Yeah, he
Is it
did.
one of the
Look
nice
on my
ones?
Instagram.
Did a
I did a wedding shoot, and I edited one of the things like Bridesmaids. And Paul Feig was one of the guys that liked it. How random is
Oh,
that?
sick. Dude, that's cool, man. You're famous.
But I like the
No,
fact
not
that
famous,
Step
no.
Brothers was so good.
Can you bring it up, Drew? Can you show it? Because I'm on my phone, so I can't see it.
Step Brothers was so good that they let that duo do that. What Sherlock Holmes film, which was the worst thing ever.
I'm so bad. Do you know who I feel bad for in Hollywood?
Go on.
John C. Reilly, because he will forever be known
Incredible.
as Will Farrell and the other guy.
Oh no, he was great. He did that. What was it? Oh God, what was
Don't you
that?
agree though? Like no one knows his name. Everyone's like, I've seen Talladega Nights with
What's the
with
two?
Will Farrell and the other guy.
Charlie Chaplin. What's the other two? What's the duo? Little and not Little and Large. Fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah. Laurel
got
and
it.
Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, Lauren.
He was in that with Steve Coogan. That's the
Yeah.
picture.
Have you found that? Oh, there it is, Drew. Look at that.
Oh,
And if you
dude, that's
click on the likes, it's got Paul Feig.
Well, there's only 8 of them, so it's good. That won't take too long to get.
Well, I don't tag anything, so
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Dude, that's
everyone
awesome.
can shove it. There you go. Look at that.
Oh, I don't follow him.
Wait, what did he do again?
I will
What did-
follow Paul Feig. Feige. It's Feige, I think it is.
It is Feige.
He's the director of
Drew, he has done loads.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I like moments like that.
Shall
I
I?
got well
Yeah,
excited
you
once.
didn't
'cause
like that photo, so you can shut up.
I got well excited once because I put a comment on something for Craig David's on a post, and he liked it.
Craig
And
David.
David. And he
Just
liked
before
it.
we talk about crazy paving,
Kestrel.
James Faulkner Media on Instagram. There you go. He needs some photos taken.
Boom. There you go.
Bollywood agrees.
These two guys are great photographers. So.
On our Ragewell Instagram, on our bio has my page, James's photography page, and Drew's poetry.
Yeah, don't mind personal
spoken
one
word
next. I
page.
won't add you.
You just talked over that.
Say
This
it again,
is important.
Kev.
No talking over.
This is for the people in the back row.
On our Ragewell Instagram has all three of our Instagram pages. My film one, James's photography one, and Drew's spoken word / poetry one. I also have a photography one.
Don't go on those two, just go on mine.
But
one thing I just remembered, I don't think, Kev, you might not have seen this. You two are both fans of comedy. We should do a comedy one time.
I love comedy.
Greatest comedians of all time. Name your top two.
what a great sentence. I love
Ooh.
comedy. Who doesn't love comedy?
Damn it.
I
Wait,
hate
stand up.
laughing and being entertained.
Who are your top comedians of all time?
Comedians, like stand-up.
Yeah, not like acting. Well, it could be acting for you if you want, but like in
I
general.
love Matt Rife at the moment.
Oh, do you know what?
I
Do you know
think
what's
he's
really annoying?
overrated.
He's
No,
so
do you know what's really annoying, Drew? And you're right.
You had
I've
tickets.
only seen him on TikTok, right? In playing little tiny shows.
Yeah.
He's not like in stadiums, is he? He's in like little clubs.
No, he's on Netflix
So-
as well.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah, but-
bad.
Imagine going back in August last year,
Yeah.
right? He was in little tiny clubs on TikTok, yeah? Really funny. I quite liked him. He did a tour for Europe, for UK. And I was like, oh, he's doing like 20 or something shows, 20, 30 shows. It would be easy to get a ticket. Big events as well, big arenas, like an arena tour. So I got on the bloody pre-show, the pre-sale thing. 8 minutes, 7-8 minutes it took me to get to the front of the queue. And I was like, this is a banger. Every single show was sold out. That's insane, isn't it?
Of all 20? Jesus.
7 minutes, at least 20 shows, maybe 30. 7 minutes.
That's because
or
he's
8
TikTok
minutes.
famous. That's more famous than an actual comedian coming to your
But
town.
he is hilarious. I'm on.
He is good on
Huh?
TikTok, but I watched
He's a
that
good looking
Netflix
He's
dude
good
as well,
because
and it
he
was
is a rule
terrible.
breaker.
It was terrible.
Did you see the thing he did where he made a joke about domestic violence? He
Maybe.
basically said that like he was at a restaurant with a waitress, she had a black eye, and he was, oh, maybe if you were better at cooking, you wouldn't have that black eye, sort of thing. And he got a load of backlash. So what he did was he doubled down on it and did an apology video, being, look, anyone that's been offended for my stuff, please go to this link. It's got an apology video. Click on it, and it's a website that sells like headgear and helmets.
I mean, I applaud the guy for doubling down
There's
because
no need, is there? He just
that's the
doubled
thing.
down on it. He doesn't care.
whether you like comedy or edgy comedy or not, it's all funny. If you're offended by it, turn it off. Don't complain about it. If it's not for you,
it was
it's not
just so
for you.
funny that he, instead of being like, "Oh, I'm really sorry," he was like, "Double down."
If you're a politician, you're a bit of a prick, and you're a bit of a prick. But
Which bit though? Which bit are you?
But
Ball sack or which
if
bit?
you're a comedian and you're being a bit of a prick, that's all fine. Crack on. Frankie Boyle would have got nowhere, would he? Frankie Boyle was like some of the most offensive stuff, but
Yeah.
but
Jimmy
it's still
Carter as
funny.
well. Jimmy
Yours are
Carter,
top. Yeah, Jimmy Carter's up there.
Jimmy Carter's
Savage.
brilliant.
He just doesn't care.
Ricky
His Golden
Gervais.
Globe stuff is so good.
Jimmy Carter can back everything that he says. He
But
knows
for me,
But he
I
also doesn't care. If he got cancelled, he wouldn't care. He'd be like,
think
whatever, I'll
Ricky
just go
Gervais,
and like,
right?
chill out.
Ricky Gervais
Ricky
at the
Gervais,
Oscars, or was it the Golden Globes when he just
Golden
ripped?
Globes.
Golden Globes.
That was
He's
unbelievable.
brilliant. Yeah.
With Mel
But I love
Gibson.
how he comes on stage. He comes on stage and he's like, I am a millionaire. I don't
When he
need
talks
to.
about Epstein, he was like, he was your friend.
Yeah.
Shut up, he was
Don't
your
give
friend.
me an ooh. He's your mates. Yeah.
Yeah. He's amazing.
But
I like when he goes,
Either way, top 3 of all time, who do you reckon?
people like Eddie Izzard needs a mention because
Eddie
he is
Izzard is
amazing.
amazing.
He does a joke about the Death Star.
Oh, that's
Cake or death?
genius.
Cake or death?
Yeah. I didn't realize it'd be such a rush. Are you Jeff Vader? No, I'm Darth Vader. I could kill you with a
Oh,
thought.
are you the brother of Jeff? Jeff Vader? No, there is no Jeff Vader.
Do you know who
But
does
there
need
was-
to go in there? Who is the GOAT?
Uh,
Tommy Cooper.
Lee Evans.
No. Lee
I like Lee
Evans.
Evans.
Yeah.
Tommy
He's a
Cooper
sweaty
is the
mum,
most underrated comedian of all time. He was doing it in like the 50s.
Well, I say if you go back far enough, everyone early days.
Whoa, guys, with Billy Connolly, man. Billy Connolly, who Kevin met. Billy Connolly.
I don't know why Billy Connolly didn't come to my brain straight away. That's really bad.
He is a genius.
Billy Connolly, that picture frame, that artwork.
We can just see the
Kev, have you ever seen this?
Tommy Cooper. That's cool. No, Tommy Cooper's brilliant.
The GOAT.
Tommy Cooper's. Well, I'll go for Billy Connolly because he's on my wall. That's his artwork.
The GOAT, because doing it in the 50s and the 60s was difficult to still be relevant now.
Yeah. I mean,
who's the guy?
But yeah,
who's what?
Gervais is so funny.
No, there's a guy that quotes. He says, when he shoots into it's so inappropriate. When he shoots into a gym sock, he goes, I. Oh man, what is it? He says, he goes, I have shot. Ah, man, I can't remember his quote.
Awful, Drew. You should.
I will say one of the great, probably arguably the greatest stand-up show of all time, and it's on Netflix. And if you haven't watched it, you're a criminal. Is Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Oh yes, Eddie Murphy.
Oh my god, that might be Eddie Murphy. Raw is good, but Delirious might be the greatest.
And Eddie Murphy's amazing because like people like Kevin Hart, I think, is so washed out.
It's also so racist.
Kevin Hart's awful. Like he's just not that funny. He's quite funny
when Eddie Murphy's talking about AIDS, and he's like, it was when AIDS was like invented.
It's Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks.
He's another one. Again, he was pretty good as well, but
he says, I've shot civilizations into my gym sock. And like the way he delivers it is genius.
I like, exactly what you said, his delivery, not commenting on the sock delivery, but the actual delivery of his jokes is...
Forget my sock.
Drew, have you ever seen Eddie Murphy Delirious?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr's great. He's so angry.
I like.
Have you ever seen?
I do like a moody comedian that's a bit grumpy, like Bill Burr.
Drew, have you seen Delirious by Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, bits I think.
100%.
Where he's dressed like Michael Jackson, like the red suit and stuff.
Yeah, he's talking about his mum like throwing slippers at him, like she could hit him from
like a boomerang. Yeah. Oh, it's the best. You talk about the Michael Jackson story, the Stevie Wonder one, where he tells Stevie Wonder to drive a car, he drives straight into a tree.
Was Eddie Murphy that
Pete Davidson?
Oh no, it was Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker was.
Everyone forgets that Eddie Murphy can sing exactly like Michael Jackson.
Hold on, you're talking
Pete Davidson.
What'd you say, Drew?
He is hilarious. Pete Davidson.
Yeah,
his stand-up, mate.
Did you see?
So funny on Netflix.
Drew, did you see the roast of Pete Davidson?
Oh, Jimmy
Carr went too far. Like basically, Drew. Pete Davidson's dad died as a firefighter in 9/11, and Jimmy Carr was up on the podium at the roast and was like, everyone keeps talking about Pete Davidson's dad, but let's not forget, this isn't the roast of Pete Davidson's dad. That was in 2011 or 2001, whatever.
But
so bad, isn't it?
But to be fair, everyone was taking shots at the 9/11 jokes. Jimmy Carr just did it more sophisticated and
Ann Coulter though. Ann Coulter took it hard. They were. It was like the roast of Ann Coulter. Like she got it bad.
But isn't she a horrible person? She's like a horrible racist.
Yeah, she's a horrible person.
Yeah,
she was like doing really awkward smiles through the whole thing. Like,
but we're talking comedians. Like if we go old school as well, you've got this is relevant for TV. This is relevant for TV.
This is genius, though.
Right.
This is genius.
Right. Go. Apple TV has just released 2 documentaries, both on Steve Martin, which I'm definitely going to watch.
I love Steve Martin, man. Come on.
What's the one with the way he's got the nose?
Roxanne? Is it Roxanne?
Oh, it might be Roxanne. Mate, what about Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, though? With him and Michael Caine.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out there.
The thing and he goes, not mother. And he's trying to play like a bit of a special character.
No, and like
while we're going on comedies, can I say one I watched the other day that I haven't seen for a long time? 2 actually I watched the other day that are very old. 1, Airplane.
Oh yeah.
And the second one, which is also one of my favourite films of all time, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I mean, going to
Trains-
Airplane. Did you same people that kind of were same style of comedy as Naked Gun? You hear
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's doing Naked Gun reboot, not
What?
reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
That sounds awful. And Liam Neeson is actually funny. He is quite good at playing dead.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't get away with the stuff that was funny then. Now,
Oh, God, no.
it's like different comedy.
God no.
What about
Spaceballs? It's like
it's going to be bad.
you know, the beginning of Spaceballs where they go over the spaceship and it just keeps going and going and going, and when they get jammed, it's like a jar of jam that like hits their thing, and Darth Vader's helmet's like this big. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, the little guy.
And they've got like and when they comb in the desert with giant combs, like Afro, and the black guys have Afro combs.
What's the guy?
Like, for God's sake.
What
Little
about
Shop of
Trains,
Horrors?
Planes?
Little Shop of Horrors is the guy from that. That's
Rick
the Darth
Moranis.
Vader guy. Rick Moranis.
Rick
it?
Moranis, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
What
he
about-
quit Hollywood and then got punched in the
Sorry,
face
Drew.
a couple of years ago,
You-
unfortunately.
Trains, Planes, and Automobiles with Steve
Ooh.
Martin and John Candy.
Yes. And John.
Also,
Candy's
to
funny.
throw it all round again in a big circle, Rick
John
Moranis
Candy was
also in
funny, yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. But yeah, Planes, Train. Steve Martin is brilliant at being the angry, stressful. Like in Parenthood with Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is in Parenthood.
Oh yeah,
Parenthood?
of course he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's like the young teenager that's trying to get with his daughter.
Yeah, that is brilliant. That film.
And if we're
Kev,
going,
do you remember Rick Moranis was in the Ghostbusters films as well?
yeah, of course. Yeah, just a kind of a little nerdy, geeky.
Do you remember they almost redid? They tried to almost remake Trains, Planes, and Automobiles with Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr. on Due Date.
Galifianakis.
What did I say?
Galifianakis is how you pronounce
Gafakis or
it.
something.
It's Galifianakis.
I swear I said Galifianakis or whatever it is.
Galifianakis.
Yeah, Galifianakis.
Yeah, that's not what you've said first time.
I've got something
Okay,
to say
well-
about him when you're finished as well.
But those two, did you see Due Date?
yeah, it was
I
actually
really
all right.
enjoyed it.
Love it. I
you
watched
see
it
that
the other
it-
day, actually.
It is a modern day Trains, Planes, and Automobiles in its premise and setup.
And that's what right. The good thing about
The
that
coffee scene.
is that they did not call it Planes, Trains, and Automobile 2 like with The
Yes.
Crow. They shouldn't be doing The Crow a reboot. They should just be doing a dead guy comes back to life film called Dave, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Or call it Dead Crow or something.
But
or,
The
Due
Pigeon.
Date is great because, or is it Due Date, whatever it's called?
Yeah, Due Date, yeah.
That's great because it's just an individual film. It's taken its own merit. If you call it Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, it puts too much weight on it.
Yeah.
And then it's
It was
a fail-
inspired.
Then it's a failure. Due Date was quite
Yeah.
good from what my
You
memory.
can tell it's inspired
Due Date
by...
was
that film.
brilliant.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when he spits in the dog's face.
I can't remember it,
So
man. I can't remember it that
unnecessary.
well.
Right. If
You know
we're
the dog's in like a head thing the whole time. When he leaves him, he just spits in the dog's face. When they're driving, he's in the back and they go over the speed bumps and he just flies in the air with the dog.
Can,
and going back to these old comedians like Steve Martin, what about Robin Williams?
oh, yeah.
Stand
How
up.
did we...
Mm.
Stand up.
How did
and
we
that-
even... Mork and Mindy.
Robin Williams is one of the
Yeah,
best in the world.
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy's fantastic.
No,
Remember that? Nanu.
His-
Like, he's just...
I love Robin Williams as an actor, but he was a joke thief, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you. He stole his
Much
jokes.
about that.
He did. He used to go
improvised
to the
a lot
comedy
of his
store.
ad-libbing.
Yeah, no, it's a known fact that he used to steal his jokes, unfortunately. Like, it was very funny, but he used to steal jokes from lesser comedians, and that's a known thing.
Yeah.
Widely known as well, that he used to steal
You
his
can't
jokes.
steal his personality. If you take away some of the jokes
No.
he may have stole, his personality is hilarious enough that you don't.
Have you
Gold.
seen his documentary on Prime?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now as we speak.
Very good. But yeah, he did, unfortunately, steal a lot of jokes,
Hmm.
which is sad to think of, but,
I-
you know,
I
he was
kinda
still
don't
an excellent
care.
actor.
Kind of don't give a shit.
He was still excellent.
You can,
Just his persona.
someone who stole the jokes could not do Mrs. Doubtfire. Apparently, the director of Mrs. Doubtfire said that they could release Mrs. Doubtfire again as a certificate 18 rating as an entirely different film because Robin
Wow.
Williams did not stop when he said cut. He went to
Also-
profanities, he went violent, like for jokes, and he,
Oh, I love
he
him.
did all this mad stuff that they could make.
He's one of the
film.
goats, but stand-up wise, like, he was very good, but it was stolen material, unfortunately.
What about Jim
I think
Carrey?
you're
Guys? Come on.
overplaying that. He may have stolen a couple of bits, like most comedians may have done as well.
It was a
Didn't get
lot.
caught.
It
But
was
he
a
had
lot, I
years of it.
think.
He had decades of it. He didn't steal for decades. He might have stole for like a month in
He
the
had a
50s.
habit and a known habit for going to comedy clubs and taking jokes from other people.
Well, if we're talking about
What about Jim?
go on. Sorry, Drew.
But he was still a
Jim Carrey.
very, very good actor
Go on, Drew. What?
and very funny.
No, I was just going to say Jim Carrey, because actually Jim Carrey was very funny on the stand-up circuit before he was discovered by Hollywood.
Yeah, rubber face
Really?
man. He's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
but that's different because
He did
like,
like
stealing
Ventura.
jokes is a bit like
He did like Clint Eastwood impressions. It was like, and he
Yeah.
changed his face
Yeah.
entirely. It was
Think
amazing.
about The Mask, guys. The Mask is a masterpiece.
Well, the director of
Yeah,
that
great
film
movie.
said
Should have
they
had a sequel
saved so much
that wasn't
money.
a dog.
They saved so much money on The Mask because Jim Carrey could do all the actions and all the facial impressions. They didn't have to CGI all the cartoon as much as they needed to,
Wow.
because they were going to CGI those to make them extra bendy and stuff. And
Yeah,
they only
yeah.
had to do like the cartoon wolf bit. Everything else was just Jim Carrey. So that was
Yeah,
good.
he's amazing.
And if you're talking about
amazing.
controversial figures like, well, your controversy that I don't care about on Robin Williams, if you talk about things like Richard Pryor,
Mhm.
Richard
Yep.
Pryor's amazing, but he was
He was
Yep.
blind once.
he was a wife beater. He was violent and abusive and a horrible.
You don't care about that. As long
human.
as they don't steal material, as long as it's original. Like Michael Jackson was a paedophile, but he made great music.
Well, we still don't know, but
No, we do know. We definitely know.
Michael Jackson's got a
Have
film
you
coming out
seen-
next year, and I'm definitely.
Have
gonna
you
watch it.
seen Leaving Neverland?
Let's not go down
We
that
know.
route. I've seen it,
We know.
and let's move on to the next comedian on
But-
the list.
You got to separate
Oh,
the
oh.
art from the artist, haven't you?
The next comedian on the list I'm looking through to get off that subject is Bill Cosby.
You say to get off that subject?
Well, that was the next
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
one.
Like he's on the ultimate sex offender.
That's the joke. That's why I'm laughing, because I was trying to look for something to get off it. Oh,
Who's
look,
after him? R. Kelly.
there's Louis C.K. Brilliant.
Brilliant. So basically, all comedians are perverts.
Yeah. But yeah.
Louis C.K. made that list.
Yeah. But
Wow.
anyway, we started talking about Oscars. We should probably wrap up in a minute, but I'll give you. Shall I give you actually the list? Shall I just ram through? Comment if
wait,
you
there's
want.
that other Scottish comedian. Hang on.
Kevin Bridges. Kevin Bridges.
No, hang on. No. There's another one. You know when you're saying there's the Jimmy Carr one, right? There's a Danny Boyd.
You're talking about Scottish comedians.
Yeah, Danny Boyd.
Danny Boyd. Who the hell is that?
What?
He's amazing. So you've got Danny Boyle, right? Who's very off the cuff and very
Frankie
Bold.
Boyle.
shit. Frankie Boyle, sorry, my bad. And then you've got Danny Boyd.
No idea what you're on about.
I'm going to show you.
You
He's
Google,
amazing.
you Google it, because I think you've just made a name up.
Well,
Yeah, Drew,
no,
stop making things up.
No, because Sarah and I went to see him live at the Apollo, and we're in the audience, and they picked us up on the camera.
I kind of guessed that when you said you were
I-
seeing him live, that you were in the audience.
I saw that.
Well, yeah,
I remember
no, but
seeing that.
I meant someone recorded us because every time they watch it, they send a screen grab of Sarah and I in the audience laughing.
Yeah, Drew, I
I
saw
look like
that.
I look like a purple. I look like a
Was that
purple
because you were
hamster.
the only ones laughing, so that's the
You
only
sent
option
it
they
to me.
had?
It wasn't Danny
I look like
Boyd.
a purple hamster.
Drew, it wasn't Danny Boyd, because he doesn't exist.
What?
Doesn't exist.
There's got to be a Danny Boyd in this world.
There is, mate.
No, I just did it, and it was a
You're
small,
telling me there's no
a
Danny
small
Boyd
black
in this
child
world?
came up as Danny Boyd as the
A small black child. Drew, did you pay money to see a small black child on TV?
Whoa, hang on.
And then you laughed at him.
Danny Boyd. That's the first person that comes up.
Just to be clear, everyone, Drew
Wait.
laughed at this kid. So
That's
rude.
not.
What's wrong with you, Drew?
You guys are all messed
So
up. Hang on.
rude.
Well, you find it, because it's not Danny Boyd.
So Drew pays
I bet it's an
money
Irish
to
man. I
see
said
small
Danny
black
Boyd.
children and loves them.
Danny B.H.
Kev, how did you miss that?
Well, because it's not Boyd, is it? It's Boyd.
I didn't say Boyd. I said Danny Boy.
Stop
Maybe I
paying to
did
watch
say
Boys.
mate. Maybe I said Danny Boy. That sketch is. I peed myself,
Never heard of him. And I've seen that TV episode with you, but I don't remember him.
mate. You'd love him, man. He's Scottish.
I don't love all Scottish people.
No, he doesn't.
fair enough.
Right, I'll ram off quickly. Ram off?
Oi, oi.
I'll reel off quickly all the Oscar things. Give a comment.
Is that what you call it? Ramming off?
Wrap this off.
Agent Ramanoff.
Wrap this up.
Special Agent Ramanoff. Kev's going for a Ramanoff.
Right, 5 minutes.
Fair enough.
Let's blast through it. Right.
Oh, we're going to blast through an Agent Ramanoff as well. Kev's going to blast through a Ramanoff.
I think you're going to...
Brilliant. We're all going to have to watch.
Actor in a leading role. Who won that one?
Cillian
Murphy.
Cillian
Murphy.
Murphy.
On that, really quick. I loved what Jimmy Kimmel said. He said, in dramas, he's a great actor called Cillian Murphy. And he said in comedies, he's called Silly Ann.
Silly Ann. That's not very good.
How hilarious.
That's pretty bad.
No, well, it was better when you saw it from him doing it. But...
What, when a comedian tells it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not on the list.
The annoying thing is, yes, Oppenheimer was great, but they didn't acknowledge half of the good films that came out. They just went on Oppenheimer heavy. Like leading role, Cillian Murphy. Supporting role, Robert Downey Jr.
Cillian Murphy? Who's Cillian Murphy?
I said Murphy. For fuck's sake.
What the wild stuff?
Leading actress we know is Emma Stone. Leading supporting actress, I think same as BAFTA's, Divine Joy Randolph.
She was amazing, yeah.
Yeah, animated feature film, James's favourite, The Boy and the Penguin. Heron. Cinematography, Oppenheimer. Costume design, Poor Things. Directing, Christopher Nolan won his first director. That's good.
It's Hoytema, isn't it? You gotta say their name, man.
Who? What?
To the cinematographer, man.
Hoyt van Hoytema.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, directing. I'm glad Christopher Nolan won because I don't think he's won anything, has he?
No.
That was his first one, so that was good.
Yeah, and he's made 12 unbelievable films, pretty much. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and again, that's the Oscars giving it to him when he probably should have won it for Interstellar or something. So
maybe.
So I genuinely think the Oscars go, right, we should have given to him, but the other film was better, but he was so good. We'll give it to him in another one and just...
The same thing, mate, the same thing happened to Scorsese. He shouldn't have had it for The Departed. The Departed's a great film.
Yes.
But you've got Goodfellas, you've got Casino.
He's got a million
Casino
films.
could have been
He should have won it for everything but that.
Yeah.
And that was a great film. It was better than most, but he's got masterpieces, and they give it to his...
Yeah. Raging Bull could have been an Oscar-worthy film. Like, it probably is, or I don't know.
Again,
maybe he was nominated.
There's a couple we don't know about here. There's documentary feature, shorts, film editing was Oppenheimer. International feature, which is UK basically, so Zone of Interest.
Yeah, man, that was cool. Zone of Interest, wasn't it?
Yeah. Makeup and hairstyling was Poor Things. Music original score, Oppenheimer, Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
Music original song, What Was I Made For? Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell.
That's her second. Mate, that's her second Oscar.
I know. And she's a kid. She is fantastic.
She's turning 27 or something. She's amazing. Yeah.
Not 27. She's like 21.
Oh.
She's amazing. She's like 21. She's like a kid.
21.
But
Jesus.
She is unreal. I went to see her at Manchester Arena about a year and a half ago. She sold it out. She was fantastic. And it was one of the best gigs I've been to. Bearing in mind, I like metal and I like rock and I like heavy music. And this was the first pop thing I've been to in ages. But anyway, it was amazing. Production design, Poor Things. And sound was Zone of Interest. That was good. Visual interest. This was interesting. Visual effects. Godzilla -1.
I want to see that.
Please do.
That's a Toho thing, yeah.
It was so good.
I was really happy they won.
Because Toho makes the original Godzilla films.
Yeah. And it's the same style as the original ones because it does feel like a plasticine model at times, but it's...
Well, Toho traditionally had the person in a suit walking around.
Yeah. Godzilla -1 is basically watching a Jaws film and a disaster film and a war film. And Godzilla's not in it that much, but it is omnipresent. It's always there. It's great.
Did you say omnipresent?
I did. Is that okay?
Yeah, you said it like
not as good as a birthday present, but an omnipresent.
You said it like a spiritual guru, like omnipresent. I was like, all right.
It means kind of widespread. He's always there. Like even if he's not there, he's there.
Yeah, but so is the energy. So is the spiritual energy in this world, in this ether.
It's like
it's omnipresent.
Yeah, it's like a consistent threat is coming,
Present.
even if you're spending 20 minutes with people in a war zone trying to get by. It's almost like in the back of your mind, like, who cares about where your next meal is coming from? There's a great big lizard about to stomp on your face. Chill out.
Yeah, Japan have some cool stuff, and Toho make the proper Godzilla.
So wait, let me get this straight. So is that based on, like, so like you've got the Loch Ness monster, which is based on, there's some sense of reality to that, right?
I don't think Japanese people think Godzilla's real.
Do they?
No,
They don't think it's real.
I think it basically. I think I've said this before, but Godzilla.
It's their version of Jurassic Park.
Well, no, Godzilla -1 is like the sequel to Oppenheimer.
So, in his documentary style-esque.
No, what you on about? I mean it as a joke, because Oppenheimer drops the atomic bomb in the 40s. That is radioactive, and it hit Japan. And then that's when the Godzilla phenomenon began, because people were talking about the radioactiveness connecting with lizards and making them grow into giant lizards.
Wow.
So it
That's
literally
deep.
is connected, but it was on
Wow. So it was like a small lizard turned into that beast because of...
Well, that's the point. It's meant to be like an
Oppenheimer did.
iguana, basically, that grows into Godzilla.
Wow.
And they call it Godzilla because you got to respect.
But that's cool that they literally, they probably made millions from that tragedy, like turning it around, though, in a serious way, like to make, to find a silver lining out of the horrendous situation.
Mate,
They've actually turned it into...
I know you're trying to be positive. You've just gone, an entire country has been massacred, but they found the silver lining in a pretend lizard.
Yeah, what about? Oh man,
You meant it with a good heart, whereas
yeah.
I'm teasing
I
you.
just meant
I'm
something good
teasing
came
you.
from it. Something good came from it.
No, it
Like,
didn't.
you know,
Hundreds of thousands of
No.
people have died, and they've made an Oscar-winning film.
No, I'm saying obviously they wish that those people were alive and not the giant lizard. I'm just saying.
I could go even worse there.
You can't make a good film about a load of people, but you can make one about a giant lizard. They wanted them to die.
I've got a great idea for a film. We just we need to cause a genocide first. So if we can get that genocide happening, I've got a great idea for a film.
Look,
Yeah, but sometimes
you want to make money in Hollywood, got to go genocide.
art comes from...
I tell you what, though, it's got easier to ramble on because, to be honest, I didn't have much to chat about when we first came on this. June
Also,
2 in
this call's
Oscars.
been way better than the West. You haven't cut out once.
Cool. Well, I mean, I thought we'd talk about June 2 and Oscars in 10 minutes, and then we might have to not talk about much else. So it's good. We've rambled on.
We're quite good at talking, I guess.
Yeah, Drew, you rambler.
So let's end this because that's a good ending. Cut my life into pieces. This is my Drew Horner. Get my life into pieces from all good bookstores like
You get them for
Amazon,
£1. The £1 book token.
Barnes and Noble.
So everyone heads to the store now with a £1 book token. You can get this.
Whoa.
Amazing.
This. There you go.
Cheers.
get your Drew merchandise.
Thank you for the advertising, guys. I appreciate it.
You obviously can't, but put the hate towards Drew. This is handle him.
Tales of the Nook. NOOK. Nook.
Tales of Nook hate campaign. Yep, he doesn't want to give his book free because he's a money grabbing little shit. And so we'll just that there.
It's my business, man. It's my small business.
Back.
Right. We're outro.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for listening to Your Movie Podcast.
Delightful, guys. I might have to cut some bits on that one, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe cut out my lizard thing. I don't know. I didn't mean it like that.
No,
I mean,
you
if
didn't.
it's very
It's a
funny.
joke. I'm teasing you. No one
right,
thinks you
right.
think that. It's me being silly over the top. Obviously.
I
It was
do.
good though. It was very funny when we're like, if we could have all those 1,000 people back and not the giant lizard. Yeah.
Yeah. If Godzilla didn't
It could be a good
exist,
bit.
then I think the world would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Also,
we're getting there. It's getting better.
it doesn't exist. Just to remind you,
Yeah.
Drew, Godzilla doesn't exist.
What doesn't exist?
No, does the Loch Ness monster exist?
No,
Prove it.
no, nothing
Okay.
exists.
Prove
Why are they selling toys? Why are they selling like toys in Scotland of the Loch Ness monster?
They sell toys of a haggis, like as an animal, a little haggis running around.
I kind of wish
Your
we were still
rationale
recording.
means nothing. They made a toy of it, so it must exist. Talking about it, they made toys of He-Man. Shut up.
Trying to say
Yeah,
He-Man
but they
don't
make
exist.
it like it's a.
What?
They make it like it's a folk tale. Like
He-Man is a metric of how you should colour your cup of tea.
What?
whoa.
As in,
Well, we can
He-Man's
smoke it.
skin colour is the perfect colour of a cup of tea. Google it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what to do.
That's true.
Google
actually
He-Man's perfect colour of a cup of tea.
Anyway,
He-Man scale.
cutting this down. All right. See you guys on the flip side.